Thanks for staying with us, everyone. The issue of restructuring is perhaps what you were talking about. How do we go about it? We've been talking to, or we spoke with the spokesperson of the APC, Malam Bolaji Abdullah. Let's switch gears now and flip the page. We have joining us in the studio a member of the PDP and a political analyst, Mr. Ken Okolubo. Many thanks for coming on the program.
Sure, it's always my pleasure.
First and foremost, Dr. Donyi Okukwe just left the PDP, and if you hear what he did say, before we go into the issue of restructuring, maybe I should just, he says that it is with deep regret that I publicly announced my resignation from the People's Democratic Party. It has to be public because the PDP no longer exists in my ward as a single unified party. Does the PDP really exist in several wards, just like Dr. Okukwe says it's happening in his own word?
Well, I'm happy I have been on this program with Dr. Donyi Okukwe before. With all due respect, Donyi is not someone that was very active in the grassroots. He was a member of my party, a very prominent member of my party. He rose to become the spokesperson to the president and also the senior special assistant to the president. That's the two presidents. Interestingly, we served in the same committee when we had the other convention we had in Abuja. And I remember very well he played a very prominent role when we were having the initial hiccups. But to say that the party doesn't exist in any ward.
In his ward? He says in his ward.
Does that make any sense?
Does the crisis affect the existence of the party?
The existence of the party in every ward, you can't rule that out. What you can say is that the crisis that we have had, Shehu, has affected the party, no doubt about it. It's affected the delivery of electoral values in terms of when you look at the value chain in terms of elections. But to say that the party doesn't exist in words, that's very far from the truth.
It seems to be very pessimistic, I would say, about the crisis. And in fact, it says that when the much expected judgment from the Supreme Court is given, the future of the party is not likely to be significantly affected whichever way the judgment goes.
Well, he's not the only one that said that. I remember in this studio when you called me prophet of PDP, I adduced to the fact that if we got the convention wrong, we were going to, it was going to become the beginning of the end of the party. Yes, a couple of the governors, or maybe one or two, have said that if the Supreme Court should go the other way, that is, if it goes the way of our present national chairman, Ali Modu Sheriff, they would leave the party. But don't also forget that the same governor, who is the chairman of the Governors Forum, Ayo Fayose, also had a meeting a couple of weeks ago, like 2 weeks ago, and said that there will be no winner, no vanquish. And with a couple of governors, like Seriake Dixon, who does not support the idea that Sheriff should not be recognized as the chairman of the party, was also at that meeting. So what I'm trying to say is that you can't put the horse before the cart.
You don't believe this is the beginning of the end?
I don't think it's the beginning of the end. I had my misgivings, but you see, the truth about it is that the APC has had nothing to offer. If the APC had something to offer, that is when we would have been extinguished completely. It's shocking that the APC has not taken us to the cleaners with all we have gone through. If we have weathered the storm up to this stage, I don't think it's going to be the beginning of the end of my party. For people like us, for those of us that are still holding on, we're not, it's not like I don't have any government appointment. I'm not being patronized by any PDP government, so to say. But because I believe in the cause of what I am in, that's why I'm holding on. Naturally, it would have been easier for me. For 2 years now, I've not been in government, so to say. It would have been easier for me to jump ship. But look at me, look at others that have believed in the party. It's very sad. I say it's very sad. Like if you go to the southeast, where you see the likes of Jim Wobodo, you see the likes of Andiuba, you see the likes of Tony Muye. You see the likes of Ojuzo Kalu. You see people, you see like Kenan Amani. These are people that have been not only members of the party, they were foundation members of the party. And they've all jumped ship. Are those the kind of people you want me to look up to? We're looking at people who have integrity, who can sit back and say, either through thick or thin, I will stick with the party.
People, just like Dr. Okupe, who has served two presidents.
That's exactly what I said.
They've seen that there's a lot of crisis, which in the end may not. It has left the party perhaps empty.
What's the crisis? The crisis is ego. The ego crisis, because they don't want to agree that Sheriff is the chairman of the party. Sheriff has said that, look, all I need to do is organize a convention. I don't want to remain. I mean, I don't know what else they want on earth for a man to say, to understand the fact that all we need to do is subsume ourselves under the leadership of Sheriff and go into a convention and elect new national officers. Is that too much for them to sacrifice?
If you look at
if they really believe in the party?
Let me get your thought quickly on the statement made by Governor Fayose about the president. He did say that there's some cabal controlling the state of affairs. He did also say that the president is on life support, and he did also ask for the resignation of the president.
Okay, the spokesman of the APC just left here. He did not even know the state of the president. Do you have any reason to doubt Fayose with what he has said? What we are talking about here, when he talks about cabal, I have talked about cabal in this studio, especially when he came to when he did come to the issue of the SGF, when we were very sad at the way the SGF had been left in office. But when you talk about cabal, it's more than even a cabal now. We're only being sentimental. The president has been out of the country for 56 days. If you add 56 to 49 days, I mean, I'm looking at this year, 49 plus 56, what do you get? You get 105 days.
Can you politicize?
105 days.
Can you politicize?
How can the president? I'm not politicizing it. I don't think anybody loves Buhari the way I do love him. Even though he's not in my party. Even as a growing up child, I was saying it the other day.
I think this is just natural.
People are being sentimental. No, the truth about it is that the president needs to take care of his health. People that love the president.
Does it mean he should resign?
Why are you saying this, Shehu?
No, does it? It's a
listen,
question.
Okay, let me go back to what the president said. The president said on the 10th of March. On the 10th of March 2010, when he was visited by Alhaji Abdul Megari, the leader of the Northern Unity Forum, he said the Federal Executive Council has abdicated their responsibility in not declaring the seat of Yar'Adua, incapacitated and declaring the seat of the president vacant. And that if the Federal Executive Council failed to declare Yar'Adua incapacitated, that the National Assembly should impeach Yar'Adua. She will note that as at that 10th of March 2010, Yar'Adua had been flown back to the country on the 24th of February 2010. Goodluck Jonathan had been made the acting president on the 10th of February 2010. And you see, at that point, it was 79 days that Yar'Adua has been out of the country. So what am I saying? What I'm saying is that when Yar'Adua was away and nobody knew where he was, and the cabal was doing exactly the same thing as what they are doing with President Buhari.
You think they are doing the same thing now?
Oh, it's even worse.
When we have an acting president.
It is even worse. Look, let me tell you, why I say this is, did you hear the dates I gave? I said 10th of February, Jonathan was already acting. And it was on the 10th of March that Buhari said they should declare the seat of Yar'Adua vacant, because Yar'Adua was already in the country. He had been flown back and nobody had seen his face. What I'm trying to say is that I'm taking Buhari by his own words. If he had said that 79 days was enough to declare Yar'Adua incapacitated, why wouldn't he be declared incapacitated after 105 days out of office? Why are we being sentimental about it?
I mean, asking for the president's resignation.
Well, I mean, Fayose is on the right track.
Listen to, let's look at what a senator of the PDP said. He's condemned what Governor Fayose said. A senator representing Ogun State, Senator Buhari Kashamu, did condemn look at what he said. The Fayose cannot usurp powers that are constitutionally vested in the Nigerian people who voted for President Buhari and elected their representatives into the National Assembly. In essence, there is no vacuum in government. That's a member of the PDP who is saying.
Did you listen to what Buhari Kashamu said? He said the Nigerian people. I'm not Fayose. I'm not saying that. I'm not aligning with Fayose in saying that the president is on life support.